Chuck Connors.
You're not fast enough, Hope. Toss me Stinger's pillow. Stinger.
Adios, compadres. Perhaps we can do business again someday, huh?
That's the latest fashion. I just got it in from New Orleans.
Let me see the size, Mark. Well, that's very good. Goes around almost twice the weight, doesn't it?
Pretty good, though.
Yeah.
Mr. Havercourt, I haven't seen you for quite a spell.
Mrs. Denton, anything for me?
Oh, just one letter. It's been here for quite some time.
Thank you.
Have you a minute, Mr. Havercourt?
Sure, as long as you like.
Lucas, this is Mr. William Havercourt, a refined gentleman of taste and discrimination. This is Lucas McCain and his son.
How do you do, sir?
How do you do?
Luke lives on a ranch nearby, Mr. Havercourt, and so he doesn't have much chance to keep up with the latest fashions for young men. I want you to tell him what you think of that jacket.
It's lively.
Addie, don't you think you can find him something a little more conservative?
Yeah, like a barbershop pole with sleeves.
That's all you men know about style.
Thanks for coming to the rescue, Mr. Havercourt.
Try this on.
Es tiempo de irnos, compadre. It is time to go.
Mrs. Denton, when is the President Jefferson Express due in from the east?
It stops in Willow Springs today.
I know, but what time?
About an hour.
What is wrong, compadre? You have what you came for.
I can't go yet, Luis.
Billy, what we did to Stinger is more pleasure than robbing the bank in the first place. But he will follow our track like an Apache. This is no place to stop. Hijo. You will have to be like Solomon in the great book to fix this. What will you do?
I don't know. She'll be here an hour after a train arrives in Willow Springs.
See you again, Mr. Havercourt.
Yep. Luis, amigo, I think I've got the answer to my problem.
You do?
When are we going to apologize to Hattie for teasing her?
Tomorrow? How'd you know what I was thinking about?
Guess we think alike.
Turn slow, Mr. McCain.
What are you up to?
Anyone else around, Luis?
No one.
You better get the rifle.
I asked you a question, Havercourt.
Just so there won't be any misunderstandings, I'm better known as Billy St. John.
Billy St.
How old are you, kid?
What's the boy's age got to do with this?
Well, if he's going to be my son, I ought to know how old he is.
What do you mean, your son?
11, nearly 12, that's just about right. And the name will be Peter. Peter Havercourt.
You out of your head?
That's so you notice it. You're going into town with me, McCain, and meet the stage from Willow Springs.
Well, you better spell it out for me, because I'm not following you.
All right. M-O-T-H-E-R. Seems her doctor told her to live with my aunt in California. She decided to stop off on my ranch to visit her son and her grandson. Now, her grandson, that's what makes it awkward. I didn't think it would hurt to write and tell her I'd gotten married and had a son. She'd like that. Later on, I told her my wife had died, but I kept up the story about having a son.
How long is this farce supposed to go on?
She'll be on her way to San Francisco tomorrow. Let's go.
Now, wait a minute. What about Mark?
Peter. Get used to it. Peter stays here. As long as you do what you're told, he won't get hurt. Come on. Remember, Luis is with your son, and Luis is a short-tempered man.
All right, St. John.
William. Oh, William, after all these years, let me hug you and hold you and look at you and be thankful that God let me live long enough to be with you again. Who is this gentleman, William?
This is Lucas McCain, Mother.
How do you do, ma'am?
Mr. McCain, I've fallen in love with your wonderful country. Its vastness and beauty is overwhelming. I know now what my son sees in it. Where's Peter?
He's waiting at the ranch.
Oh, just a moment, William. I want to thank the driver. He was so nice to me.
Look, St. John, I don't know how somebody like you wound up with a lovely lady like that for mother. I'm gonna go along for a day. Remember, no tricks, huh?
Thank you.
Luis, Mrs. Havercourt. Luis Torra, he also works for me.
Very pleased to meet you, Mr. Torra. And this is Peter.
Quite a boy, isn't he, Mother?
Quite a boy. Do you have a kiss for your grandmother, dear? Oh, now, don't be frightened, Peter. Very sensitive boy, isn't he?
Yes, very sensitive. Luis? We have an understanding, McCain. Talk to the boy, set him straight.
Now, you tell your friend what the score is. Mark, I made an agreement with Billy. I told him I'd go through with this. Only because of his mother.
It's hard. I've never had to do anything like this before.
I know, son, neither have I.
Well, what about him?
Billy, he's trying to work it so his mother won't find out about him. That's the one thing in his favor. She's a mighty fine lady, Mark.
Guess so.
Well, when you take a chance at it, make like it's play acting. Shouldn't be too hard. After all, son, you never knew your own grandmother, and I'm thinking any boy would be mighty proud to have such a fine lady as his real grandmother.
Peter, when your father was just your age, he loved dumplings. I made 2 extra for you.
Thank you.
I imagine your mother used to cook him for you, too. She must have been a lovely woman.
She was. Of course, I don't remember her too well. But there's a picture of her on the desk.
I've never seen one. May I?
I'll get it, son.
What's the matter, William?
Mr. Harcourt, don't you remember you told me to move the desk into the bedroom yesterday?
Just remembered. He used to talk about a town like this where he picked up his mail.
You must be joking. There's a dozen towns like this between here and Santa Fe.
Yeah, but none with such a nice, quiet saloon like this one. Now, let's get ourselves a drink. Then we'll ask some questions.
Now. Oh, that's a much more pleasant arrangement. Don't you think so? Well, don't you think so, Mr. McCain?
Oh, I think it's fine, ma'am. You were kind of used to this chair over near the window, weren't you, Mr. Harcourt?
Yes.
What happened?
I was practicing. The gun, it went off accidentally.
What's wrong, ma'am?
What is it, Mother?
It's nothing. It's nothing. I'm all right now. Come. Breakfast is ready.
Yes?
I warmed it for you.
Thank you. You're gonna be leaving in the morning, aren't you?
Will you miss me?
I think so, Grandmother.
That's the first time you call me grandmother. I could take the train next week. I'm sure your Aunt Alida would understand.
Well, that'd be nice, Mother, but... Well, I'm afraid ranch life is a little rugged for you. I'll tell you what, later on, when you're feeling better, I could send for you.
I suppose you're right, William. Would you mind if I said goodbye to you here? Stations are... Well, all those people in a hurry. One never has a chance to say the right thing. Peter.
Mrs. Harcourt. Mark, get some cold water.
Saying goodbye, it breaks her heart.
Never mind that, son. This is more than a fainting spell.
What's that supposed to mean?
What's wrong, Paul?
I don't know. You go to town and get Doc Burge, Mark.
Go with him. Make sure he brings back the doc, no one else.
race after the doctor, if it's for Billy. Seems to me they'd be wanting an undertaker.
Well?
Nothing yet.
Why couldn't she have stayed in Boston? Why did she have to come out here?
Take it easy, compadre.
You're no good. You're just no good.
You're right, kid. I'm no good. But I like it that way. I want it to stay that way. Why did she have to come?
You can't understand that, can you?
Spit it out.
It's a lot worse than she led you to believe. Her lungs are beginning to fill. I would say she hasn't more than an hour to live.
Take it easy, Morgan.
Hour. Maybe less, but not much more.
She can't die, Doc. Don't you see? She can't die.
Mark, you stay here and stay low.
Billy! Billy boy! Like an Apache. He trails.
Who is that?
My former business partner.
Come on out, Billy. Let's talk this over friendly-like.
What do they want?
My head. Hogue will be making his way around back, Luis. McCain, we're all in this together. Stinger won't leave anybody alive who can testify against him.
Will you tell me what's going on, Luke?
Never mind, Doc. I'll explain later. Go see if Mrs. Havercourt is all right.
William? William? Peter, what's happening?
Billy! Billy! No sense in us fussing like this. I'm thinking of the other people in the house. It ain't me, mind. Sandoz here can get real ugly when he's mad. Let's talk, Billy.
William? Why are those men calling to you?
It's all right, Mother. It's a mistake. It's all a mistake.
You know, like gunfire is going to bring somebody. We can't stay around here all day.
Help me with this wagon.
Please tell me why those men are shooting.
Rest easy, Mother.
Get Louise to make a break. I'll keep him pinned down.
I can't leave her now.
Look, I don't care what happens to you. You bought your ticket a long time ago. But your being in this house has put my boy's life in jeopardy. Besides, you want your mother to die of a broken heart, knowing who and what you really are? You've got to draw those men away from here. Now get going.
All right.
Luis. Adios, compadre.
Billy! This wagon's aimed right at the house. What about it, Billy? Your time's running out, Billy. You got just 2 minutes. You hear me, Billy St. John? Billy St. John!
Billy St. John, the outlaw.
Heard of Billy St. John, Mother?
He isn't here. Is he, William?
Well, you'll find out in a few minutes anyway, Mother. I guess it's better coming from me. Yes, Billy St. John is here.
Here?
That's right, ma'am. I'm Billy St. John.
I don't understand.
I figured taking a new name and getting a job would start me off in a new life. Just didn't work out that way.
I'm so very sorry for you. What will you do?
I don't know.
What about it, Billy?
Thanks, McCain.
I didn't do it for you.
Your time's running out, Billy.
I don't want you getting brave on me, McCain. You can pick this up after I've gone. I'll leave it on the porch.
You think you can go it alone?
It's the only way for any of you to come out of this alive. Well, they want me, but they're a lot more interested in the money. I'll draw them away from the house. You know, with a little luck, I may even see you again.
Time's up.
You didn't really think I'd have hurt your boy, did you, McCain?
I've seen you change the last 24 hours, Billy. If it wasn't for her, I'd have stopped you a long time ago.
Stupid fool.
When William returns, tell him I've decided not to go on to California after all. I'm going to stay here with him and my grandson. You seemed frightened of me when I first arrived. You aren't frightened of me anymore, are you?
No. No, I'm not, Grandma.
Thank you, dear.
Something bothering you, Mark?
I can't stop thinking about him, Paul.
Billy?
The kind of a man he was, an outlaw. Do you think he really loved her?
Oh, he loved her all right, son. You know, Mark, there's a little bit of good even in the worst of men. Her coming brought it out in Billy. It's too bad he had to go to such lengths to prove it to her.
You know, Paul, for a while it was like I really had a grandmother. She sure was a nice lady.
Yes, she was, son. A real nice lady.
you.